What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. And today, where I live, probably where a lot of you guys on the East Coast, Snowstorm City. Thought nothing was going on today. Lucky to have my power on, for God's sakes. Log on to Twitter. See this! College football is coming back. EA Sports has confirmed what a lot of people thought once all those new laws and regulations passed in NCAA, that there would be a college football game coming back. And they announced EA Sports College Football. You could be a little skeptical. You see this and you're like, why is it not NCAA? Is there going to be something weird? Is going to be... I assume... Well, this is just a lot of assumptions. We don't know pretty much anything. We do know that they have licensing for all the schools, uniforms, traditions. The reason why I don't think it says NCAA is because they're probably working on that. Like that, they're working on that partnership officially. And they made this pretty much confirm, like, we don't need NCAA. So if it's something that's like they're waiting on NCAA's end to confirm or something like that, like, we can just brand this college football. We don't need you guys. Or another way to take this and make a heavy assumption is that this could be kind of cyberpunky in terms of an announcement. Hopefully it's not as bad as Cyberpunk was when it came out, but if it's only like something like this, if this is all they have to show, it might be like, I'm thinking 2022 at the earliest, probably 2023. I'm not saying I have the ins and outs of everything that's going on with this game right now, but I would feel like you would hear something about maybe a new studio. You know, like every time you look at Call of Duty, right? And any time that there's something like a new studio on Call of Duty or all these different things that drop up of who's working on Call of Duty, sites like Charlie Intel, and it's all over social media. That's like, oh, Raven Software is working on Call of Duty. I feel like if something like that was happening for college football, like you would see people posting like, is this new college football game coming up? Look, EA posted this job to work at a new studio on a new project. Like, you know, just little things like that lead me to believe that this college football game is going to be a little bit of a wait. Because there's just so much unknown. There's been no other records, no other reports of you know, a different studio, like obviously EA Tiburon, right? But I would just say that I think be prepared 2023. Be prepared for like a 2-year wait. Hopefully it comes out next year. And hopefully they keep the same release schedule as this beautiful game. Because remember that back in the day, this game used to come out at the beginning of summer and Madden would come out at the end of summer. That was like the perfect... I mean, obviously, it wasn't that perfect. Ideally, you could get them split up a nice amount that you could play NCAA if it came out and, you know, right after the college football playoffs or something like that. And then you'd have 4 or 5 months until Madden came out to just, you know, preoccupy yourself. But what I want to do today is to follow up this announcement. Like, what do we need in a game? Because, you know, I make a tweet hyping up this announcement, and everyone's just like, well, how's EA going to find a way to ruin it? And I'm just trying to think and be optimistic, because today should be a happy day. Today should not be a, oh, it's EA kind of day. Like, you shouldn't take that approach. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult to mess this up. You know, because you literally could take this game, reskin it, add college football playoffs, and people would be happy. And because it's going to be the first game, hopefully in a new iteration, a new generation of college football titles, I think that's probably the best approach. Go simple. Don't overexert yourself. Make sure that you can get the foundation right for a proper college football game. So you need to have your play now, right? All that stuff. I definitely think they should keep the arcadiness of some of these options, like mascot mode, one button mode, which is awesome for my kid personally to get into football. He likes playing video games, obviously playing a Madden game. A little too difficult. Hell, it's a little too difficult for me if you watch my content. But something like one button mode's fun for everybody. So I do think from a spirit of play now, obviously you know you're going to get all these modes. I truly do believe that you want to keep, you know, I don't know what the proper word is, the innocence of NCAA, where at a certain point, it was very simplified. It was very user-friendly. It didn't take itself too seriously in the out-of-core Road to Glory Dynasty modes, and I would love to see that return. Ultimate Team, obviously I can't log on to Ultimate Team at this point, but this was honestly the last Ultimate Team I played. It was cool because everything was a legend. Everything was a flashback because you couldn't use current college players. And I assume that would be the case, which is good in a way. Because if they can't use current college players, Ultimate Team's not going to be on the forefront. Because if they found a way to have license, I mean, they could honestly, that would be honestly, I'd probably consider that as an option for me to hop in and play this Ultimate Team. But I'm going to be skeptical, saying like you're not going to be able to get, say if it's next year, right? You're not going to be able to get like Spencer Rattler cards. You're not going to be able to get, I don't know, who's the other big players? Kayvon Thibodeau cards. You know, guys that are actively playing. So it's going to limit the player pool. I remember that was the big thing back in this day, was like it was straight legends. Heater after heater. Like I wanted to get Tennessee Reggie White and all this stuff. Like this was the last time I seriously spent money on a game of Ultimate Team. It was this Ultimate Team mode. So I think we all know the spirit of franchise has been depleted ever since Ultimate Team took hold in the Madden series. But, you know, we saw a little bit of Ultimate Team here at NCAA, and it still didn't take away from the fact that Dynasty was the premier mode, and Road to Glory was clearly the second mode. Ultimate Team was third, and even, I don't know, probably people played Play Now, Couch Co-op over playing Ultimate Team. It was, you know, unfortunately maybe an afterthought, and I would hate to think that, you know, maybe we could have had this game sooner. You know, obviously restrictions and all that stuff, but I almost feel like there was a certain side of, like, Ultimate Team made no... Like, you look at other sport titles, right? Didn't they get rid of Ultimate Team in UFC because it just wasn't really making money? It was a hard mode to translate to a MMA game. I feel like that is kind of the area that Ultimate Team was in NCAA games, where it's like, yeah, you know, they had an Ultimate Team, but it was still kind of weird because you couldn't have real players, you couldn't have active players, so everything was legendary, and you lose a lot of the appeal of the casual players because they're not going to know who friggin', you know, they're not going to know, I don't know, who's someone super random. Kerry Collins. You're going to get, like, weird players like that, right? You're going to get Taylor Mays and a lot of guys that, like, you know, were only big at the college level. There's going to be that drop-off. There's going to be that learning game. I mean, sure, they could probably just fill it up and make it like Madden, I guess, and just use a lot of NFL players. But I would still say that, like, Ultimate Team is going to be on the back burner for this mode, even though it feels very foolish to almost suggest that because it's a moneymaker. I just feel like, you know, there's a lot more restrictions for a college football Ultimate Team than there is, say, strictly in Madden. So Ultimate Team will be a thing, I would say for sure. Dynasty mode, again, there's no real way that they can mess up this Dynasty mode. It's going to be all generic rosters. It's going to be one of those games that, like, really, everyone's going to want to get it right away, but it's probably not going to be in a good spot for at least a month or two for everyone to go in and at least make a base rating of everybody, get all the names right and stuff like that. But, you know, when the first thing I thought when they announced that this game's coming back was like, they can't mess up Dynasty. There's no way you can mess up the Dynasty. Have a team builder that works. If you get, like, there's no way you cannot not have team builder. And I feel like this could be one of the big, like, FUs. Be like, hey, it's coming back, but we don't have team builder. Like, they just won't ever announce team builder or address team builder. But I also feel like, not like Madden created team builder was an integral part of the NCAA football series, more so than create a team in Madden. It would be pretty disgusting not to have that in the game. Now, it wouldn't kill the hype, but it would be very annoying because everyone wants to make their own team. Everyone makes their own school. Everyone makes their own players. It's a completely unique customization experience. But the number one thing in this brand new Dynasty, there has to be coaching carousel. If there's not coaching carousel, like, that is, like, they can't ignore what made this series great. You know, they can't. I would be disgusted if they take the hype and the starvation from the hype based off of the starvation for the lack of college football game. They cash in on that hype. Everyone is super pumped to get back into it, and then they just kind of make it a carbon copy of Madden. They don't bring over any of the things that made NCAA authentic, that made NCAA good. Coaching carousel 100% has to be a thing. Recruiting boards has to be a thing. Custom schedules, I mean, just, you know, you don't really need me talking to you about this in video. You know, if you're watching this, what needs to be in this game. But, you know, sometimes I'll say this, sometimes my videos make a rounds, and maybe this is enough to be like, you know, this is really what people want. Coaching carousel, you need the recruiting board, you need team builder. Don't mess this up. Add in the college football playoffs. You know, and then you go into other good modes. Road to Glory was Really, really good too. Road to Glory was a fun mode. This was probably the one mode that a lot of people were disappointed with when NCAA was a thing. Most people were very satisfied with Dynasty, but it was always like the Road to Glory mode. Oh, it lacked a little bit of depth. And, you know, I don't really know how much more they could potentially, fix. Like, what else can you add to this that they didn't already have? It was just one of those things that became a point in time where it's like, all right, well, you picked your teams that you want to go to. You got to play your high school football. Like, I don't know if they want to add maybe more high school football element to it where you could start to shape your guy. Like, I don't know, man. It was one of those things where, at least when I was playing, I always thought like there could be more, there should be something more in a Road to Glory, but I never really knew, like, outside of going completely in the 2K realm where you have like off the field things, and there's certain things that you're going to be limited to within a college scope, because you're not going to want, like, I want my guy to be a drunk, go to parties, get wasted, miss his tests, get suspended. Like, you're not going to have that in an EA Sports house. Like, what else could you really add? Because you start in high school. Maybe you could have more influence in high school where, I could work on my archetype. I could really decide my archetype in high school. If I want to be a scrambling quarterback, if I want to be a pocket quarterback, have me do different types of mini games and different types of storylines that could potentially influence. But I just hope that in this mode, they at least keep it in the spirit of what we had here and not what we've been getting in Madden. Because in Madden, it's incredibly linear, it's incredibly cutscene driven, and there's no uniqueness. You're pretty much going through the same motions that everybody else is playing the mode. And at least in Road to Glory, you could always kind of go your own path, kind of do your own thing. And I hope that's the approach they have to the Road to Glory mode. And I mean, outside of that, I mean, yeah, just make sure you have Team Builder. Team Builder is a very crucial element to this. Make sure that you can have people upload rosters and stuff like that. So once someone or a team of guys makes the real life names and all that stuff, we'll be able to use that. And I mean, is there anything else they could add? I mean, you probably in Play Now, you could add maybe like a playoffs only mode where you could single-handedly pick your playoffs and kind of run a gauntlet, kind of run a tournament type thing. I think you might have room to, I don't know, man. Like, it's one of those things where this was generally almost a perfect football game, and the fact that it's been the best football game on market for 7 years now. There's not much reinventing the wheel that needs to go on here. Just essentially reskin this, give us new graphics, give us the, whatever we're going to get on next gen, give us the coaching carousel, give us the same old features. I think most people will be happy. But let me know in the comment section below, fellas, what you would want to see in a new college football game. In particular, what was it in NCAA 14 that you really think should make an appearance in the game? Because I'm kind of loose on ideas. I mean, I'm sick. I'm trying to make through this video my head cold here, so maybe I'm just missing something obvious, but I would love to hear your guys' suggestions about what you would love to see in this brand new college football game. But I'm hyped, and I stress you guys to be optimistic, to also be excited, to tamper your expectations, because I think it could potentially be a little bit of a wait until we get some news on it. I'm saying 2022, 2023 in that range, but the hype is real, man. College football is coming back. I cannot wait to have, potentially, there's going to be 3 games I could play. Madden, 2K, and college football. That is like the best news as like a content creator that is just not in the greatest of spots with Madden. How 90% of the Madden content creators aren't in a great spot. The more opportunities, the different games we can play is only going to be better for the community. So thank you guys for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with I don't know what, but I'll see you then. College football is back. Oh, let's go! Let's go!